Okay, in today's video, I'm pretty excited for this one. I am going to be setting up and testing out a new air assist compressor to try to replace the air filter box that comes with the laser itself, and to try to get more air pumped into the laser in general. So I picked up one of these. It's called a linear air pump. This thing seems to be marketed, it seems to be the basic same design that's marketed by different companies. This one in particular is by VivoSun. They're pretty popular in the indoor growing space. They also make inline fans and kind of compete with AC Infinity also. But I found this one at the recommendation of a fellow laser user, a fellow GweikeCloud laser user. And he said his has been doing great and it's better than stock. So here I am testing it out also. This thing is not cheap. It's over $100, I think. Yeah, it's definitely over $100. But hopefully it will be some good. Now I've already opened it already, and it's over here. This thing is not small, all right? Oh, and it's relatively heavy. I'm gonna put it directly on the glass. This thing is relatively big, relatively heavy. The air compressor that's actually inside the air filter is about like this big, this tall compared to this thing. And this thing is about around half the size of the air filter box. So it's not a small compressor at all. I've turned it on and it seems relatively quiet. We'll see, obviously. I might put it away off to the side of my workshop here just to get it away from the main space here and try to quiet this area down so I don't have to keep talking over the machine to my family members when it's on. So yeah, this is the air compressor. The reason I don't want to go with a big air compressor that has a tank on it is because I just don't have the space here. Like at my house, my place just does not have the space, so I needed something small that can do a relatively decent job. Those bigger ones might be able to do better. If you have the space, obviously go for it. A lot of people use the California Air Tools compressors, and those have been getting really good reviews. But anyway, onto what I have here. These are called, if I failed to mention, these are called linear air pumps, and they have the basic same design that's kind of marketed between different companies. So obviously this air hole is really big. I had a friend design an adapter that sort of funnels down into the 6mm tubes that these lasers use. So that'll fit right on. If this all works, I will be offering these for sale. If it doesn't work, obviously I'm not going to offer it for sale. But so that's the reason for this test today. Eventually I will probably silicone seal it and tape it off with some aluminum ducting tape. So this thing, as you can see, feeds right into the 6mm hole tube that the laser actually uses. And I got a 25-foot tube from my local aquarium shop or pet shop. Some of them you have to be careful, like one I got off of eBay. Where is it? This brand by Penplax Tubing. Penplax. This thing is actually a 5mm tube, so it's just slightly smaller than the tube that this thing fits. So be careful of that. The one at my local aquarium fits really well, so that's why I went back to go get it. So yeah, I'll probably, most likely, I'll run this right next to the machine for this test, and if it all works out, then I'm going to probably just put it at another place in the workshop. And again, this is sort of a dummies test. I'm no scientist. I don't know anything about air pressure or whatever. If this thing yields better results than the stock one, then obviously something worked. So feel free to comment in the comments below if you guys have more expertise in all this air pressure, air volume type thing. But basically today's test, I'm gonna be cutting a test card out of just standard 3mm plywood, and see if the larger air compressor does anything to speed up cuts and make cuts cleaner. So those are just my two criteria. I've already cleaned the lenses inside the laser, and so first test coming up will be just to cut it with the stock compressor and see how that does. So that would be no different than what I've been used to doing. I think that's all I needed to mention, but this video will cut in a few places as I set up. All right, almost ready to go. Just want to show you guys the file I'll be using. Hopefully this focuses right here. So I will be cutting at 50% power, kind of not going any lower because I don't really care about going slower. I just want to see what it does. I never run my machine anywhere past 50%. So I want to see how it cuts at 5mm second 6 all the way up to 12, and we'll see where that gets me. So we're gonna hook up the machine, turn it on. So again, this is hooked up to the stock compressor. Everything is stock about the machine right now. And then we'll load in a 3mm piece of birch plywood. I don't have my camera set up yet, so gotta manually frame it. And obviously there's a lot of scientific factors to all this that, you know, I just don't care about right now. Humidity, well, and like how humid the piece is, I guess, how wet the piece is. The plywood will affect all the cuts also. But here we go. Let's check it out. So someone mentioned to me that I've never showed the machine actually doing its work. Well, here you go. The machine is doing its work. So I'm going to turn off this video in a little bit. Actually, we'll see how long it can go. So right now it's just engraving the letters I have. Let's see if I can take off my phone here without causing too much trouble. Bring it closer for a closer view. So right now it's cutting out the test card. I probably should have put this one last, this step last. Again, this is on the stock air assist. And my air assist sits right down here. I've extended the electrical cable so that I could reach all the way down here in a longer airline tube. So it doesn't have to sit next to the machine. I don't know if you can see in the video, but there's a little bit of haloing around each of the engravings. I hope that disappears with the new air compressor, so we'll see if it engraves and cuts cleaner. Oh, whoops. Looks like I did this twice. Oops. Alright, we'll just wait for it to go around one more time. Really just needed one pass, but I guess I didn't put that in the file. I should have double checked that. My fault, guys. My fault, everyone. Everything else is one pass, so after this comes back, everything else is one pass. Kind of boring watching it cut. Again, sorry. This only needed one pass, but I accidentally put in two. So I know this 3mm piece should cut at 50% at around 9mm a second. That's the fastest it can cut with the stock air assist. Almost there. Bear with me here. Alright, let's see it go cut those circles. So this should cut through 5mm a second. Yep, it cut through. 6 should cut through too. Yep. 7 should cut through. Yep, looks like sometimes 8 cuts through, sometimes 9 cuts through, but this one's not cutting through. Alright, you can see that one charring a lot more, or haloing a lot more. Alright, and it's done. I'll put this back on the tripod. See here, we cut through all the way up to 7mm a second. 8 can punch out if you press it in. I think 9 you could punch it out too, but oh, see, there it goes. But it's, and then 10 gets stuck. So 10, there's a slight cut out in back, but not really. But up to, I would say up to 7 is safe on the stock air assist. You can see that kind of focus. You can see that kind of haloing here. Let's see if the new air assist takes that away. Alright, next step. Okay, right now, since this is a dummies test, I just want to do a quick dummy test of seeing which air compressor is stronger just by feeling the air itself. So I have the new air pump set up here. I have it, let me move the video a little bit. Sorry. Alright. Have it set up, sort of temporarily sealed with some aluminum ducting tape. I don't think it leaks yet, and the front doesn't really leak either, so I have a little bit of tubing here. Only drawback about this pump right now is that it doesn't have an on-off button, so I have it hooked up down over there to one of these off and on outlets. So right now the air compressor, the stock air compressor, is still connected to the machine, so I'm gonna unhook that and turn this one on. Alright, so I can feel the air of the stock machine. I'm going to turn on the air to this one. It does feel a lot stronger. It feels like a continuous stream of air versus the stock compressor feels like little pulses of air. It's still noticed. It's very I don't know if it's powerful, but you can definitely feel it. But this one, you could definitely feel that it's way more powerful. And it's pretty quiet too. Yeah, it's definitely way more powerful. But okay, just wanted to do that dummies feel test. It does definitely feels a little bit weaker, and it comes in pulses, the stock one. So right now I'm gonna hook up this air compressor to the machine, and we'll see if that does anything to the cut. Okay, another day, another test. So in the previous videos, I tested the original. Hope you guys can hear me. The original stock air assist. Today I have the upgraded VivoSun air assist hooked up. It's actually under a laser right now. I relocated it because it's much smaller and I get more working space on top here. So we're gonna do a test, a quick cut test. I have my 3mm birch plywood loaded, and on my laptop I've shortened the test a little bit. I don't know if you can see it, but I just took out the extraneous ones. We know that 6-7mm cuts on the old air assist. I want to see, and we know that 12 doesn't really cut, 11 probably won't cut, 10 probably won't cut, but I'm looking to see if it'll just speed up the 8 and 9s. 9mm a second at 50% power. So I have this Lightburn file loaded and made. So I'll just plug it in right now. And we'll turn on the air assist. In the previous videos I mentioned that I have it on one of those power, one of these right here, these power on and off switches, because the air assist itself, or the compressor itself, doesn't have a on and off button. So here we go. I'm gonna turn it on. As you can hear, it's, or maybe not hear, it's actually very quiet. In the previous videos, you'll hear the pulsating sound of the old stock air assist. Here, you just kind of hear the machine's fan in the back going, and maybe a little bit of a hiss from the air assist. So I'm gonna go focus, and we'll start cutting. We're going to start the cut, or start the test. It's a lot cleaner, that's what I can say, compared to the original tests, which are here. I mean, after this is done, I'll take it out, but I'll show you this later. The original one. So that's the 8, 9. We know that the 8s and 9s have to be punched out by hand. It looks like it might have to be punched out by hand with this new one. So this cut, to release the piece, I'm doing it at 5mm a second. I know that one will cut through with the old air assist and maybe with the new one. Almost there. Okay, it's out. Let the smoke clear for a little bit. Sorry, I'm gonna pause the video for a second here. Okay, back at it. Sorry about that. Kids were coming home, so it was super noisy. Take out the piece. Do some comparisons. Before I do any comparisons with the punch out, I will show that the light is not good, is it? Alright, I'm gonna turn this off. Okay, you could kind of see here. Let me just take off the phone. There you go. You can see that the original one was this. Original air assist. You can see how messy that is. This is a new air assist. It's a very clean piece. Let's see about the cut. 8mm punches out. 9mm punches out. Ooh, that one split the wood. 10 doesn't. So it didn't really do much difference to the cut. But it did a lot of difference to the actual cleanliness of the engrave. Yeah, I mean there's probably a lot of reasons for that. Maybe the laser is not fully in focus. Maybe this piece of wood has more glue. Who knows? Maybe there's other factors. If you know other factors, let me know down in the comments. That can help improve this situation. But otherwise, the link to the air assist is in the description, plus a link to the 3D printed adapter that I made, and then what else? And then always the referral link down there if you're looking to buy one of these lasers. Feel free to hit me up with any questions too. Yeah, so this is the test. Looks like the air assist, new air assist didn't help too much with the cutting speed, but it did help with the cleanliness of the actual engrave. You can see that, yeah, again, there's no haloing of the glue here, but there's a lot of haloing on all this, especially this here. Let's see, what else can I talk about here while I'm here? In the machine, I have this knob turned all the way up. I think that's it. You can see that the air assist I relocated down here.
Can I see?
And that's pretty much it. Yeah, again, if you have any suggestions on how to improve the air, since the air assist is more powerful, I know there's a lot of factors to it. If you know how to improve the air assist and my cutting speeds, feel free to let me know in the comments. There's probably a lot of factors that deal with like nozzle size and holes and like air pressure, a lot of things that I don't know. Yep, feel free to comment with any questions. Until next time.